If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. There's a storm brewing in Cleveland, and it has nothing to do with the weather off Lake Erie. It's centered entirely around the Browns quarterback room, a position that continues to be a carousel of controversy, uncertainty, and intense scrutiny. Rookie Dillon Gabriel, the third-round pick out of Oregon, is suddenly the epicenter of that chaos after some pointed comments from local Browns insider and longtime team reporter Daryl Roeder. While fans are preparing to get their first look at Shedeur Sanders under center in Friday's preseason opener against the Carolina Panthers, Gabriel's name is ringing louder, not for highlights, but for harsh critiques. Roeder, never known to sugarcoat his words, delivered a scathing assessment of Gabriel's ability, questioning whether the Browns have even made a sound investment at all. As this quarterback competition heats up, Gabriel is being tested not only on the field, but now in the court of public opinion, with stakes higher than ever. From the outset, this preseason was already shaping up to be one of the most intriguing in recent Browns memory. With Deshaun Watson sidelined indefinitely due to injury, the team turned to a deep quarterback room, consisting of seasoned veterans like Joe Flacco, young reclamation project Kenny Pickett, and two highly touted rookies in Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel. Each of them brings a drastically different skill set and background, and head coach Kevin Stefanski has been clear that the job is truly up for grabs. But what looked like a healthy competition has taken a sharp turn thanks to Roeder's brutally honest evaluation. While some analysts have been cautiously optimistic about Gabriel's arm strength and pocket mobility, Roeder didn't hesitate to pour cold water on that enthusiasm, going as far as to say Gabriel is not an NFL quarterback. That's not the sort of thing you expect to hear about a guy still learning the ropes of a complex offense. Roeder's bluntness didn't end there. According to him, Gabriel's struggles go beyond mechanics or inexperience. He suggested the Browns are forcing Gabriel into roles he's not prepared for, repeatedly giving him first-team reps that Roeder argues are completely undeserved. They're cramming this guy down our throats, he said, expressing frustration that the coaching staff is seemingly intent on giving Gabriel opportunities despite underwhelming performances. And while many fans are quick to defend rookies, during their initial adjustment period in the league, Roeder's criticism has found some agreement online. A growing portion of the Browns fan base is beginning to question whether Gabriel, for all his college accolades and highlight reel throws at Oregon, was simply not ready to leap into the NFL spotlight. In Cleveland, where quarterback woes are practically tradition, patience is running thin. One of the primary concerns about Gabriel entering the draft was his size. At 5'11", he's shorter than the prototypical NFL quarterback, raising questions about whether he'd be able to see over linemen and find open throwing lanes. However, Roeder dismissed that argument entirely. It's not a height thing, he insisted. It's not personal. He pointed instead to what he sees as consistent inaccuracy, poor reads, and a general lack of composure in live reps. That's a tough pill to swallow for a player still trying to earn his stripes, but it's a reality of life in the NFL, especially in a high-pressure city like Cleveland. While Gabriel's defenders point to his moments of promise in training camp, Roeder seems to believe those flashes are more illusion than substance, and that his presence on the field is more harmful than helpful to the team's preparation. Despite the pessimistic noise, Dillon Gabriel still has a shot to change the narrative, beginning this Friday against the Panthers. Preseason games may not count in the standings, but they matter immensely for players like Gabriel, who are fighting for roles, respect, and possibly even their futures in the league. This will be the first chance for the broader football world to see how he responds to adversity. Will he rise to the occasion and deliver a solid performance to silence the doubters? Or will Roeder's words echo even louder if Gabriel stumbles under the bright lights? One thing is clear: every throw, every snap, and every drive will be heavily scrutinized, and that spotlight is burning harder by the day. It's not just about football now, it's about proving he belongs. The Browns haven't officially named a starter for Week 1. And while the consensus leans toward Flacco or Pickett holding the reins in the short term, the long game is wide open. Shedeur Sanders, for example, was listed as the fourth quarterback on the depth chart earlier in the week. behind Gabriel, and yet he'll be the one starting the preseason opener. That's a twist that might suggest the coaching staff is taking a closer look at who's ready to rise and who might be headed for a redshirt season, or worse. Sanders will have every chance to leapfrog Gabriel with a strong performance, especially if Gabriel fails to seize the moment when his number is called. This is as much about who commands the huddle as it is about arm strength or athleticism. Leadership, decision-making, and poise under pressure will carry heavy weight in what's shaping up to be a truly unpredictable quarterback race. From a contractual standpoint, both Sanders and Gabriel are relatively safe, at least for now. According to ESPN, both rookies signed standard 4-year rookie deals, and neither is expected to be moved ahead of the regular season. But safe in the NFL is always a relative term. Just because a player isn't cut doesn't mean they're in the long-term plans. The Browns could easily stash one or both on the inactive roster, or even bury them on the depth chart for developmental purposes. Gabriel's situation is particularly precarious because expectations were modest to begin with. Many scouts had him pegged as a day 3 pick, somewhere in rounds 4 to 7, largely due to his size and inconsistencies on tape. Cleveland took him earlier than expected, perhaps hoping to strike gold, but early returns have been mixed at best. If that gamble doesn't pay off soon, criticism will only intensify. Darryl Ruder's commentary, while harsh, reflects a broader skepticism surrounding the Browns' recent draft decisions, especially a quarterback. Over the years, Cleveland has taken swing after swing trying to find their franchise guy. Brady Quinn, Johnny Manziel, Deshaun Kaiser, Baker Mayfield, and now in the post-Watson injury era, the carousel is spinning again. The addition of Gabriel was supposed to be a low-risk, high-reward move, but if the team's own insiders are already calling it a miss, that could indicate trouble behind the scenes. Fans can be forgiving, but only when they see growth. The moment a rookie appears stagnant or overwhelmed, the honeymoon phase ends quickly. Gabriel has the tools, but can he put them together in time? That remains the burning question, and it's one that may start getting answered as soon as Friday night in Carolina. It's rare for a preseason game to carry this much intrigue, but that's exactly what we're getting with the Browns opener. Between Gabriel's chance to redeem himself and Sanders' opportunity to shake off his low depth chart placement, every snap matters. The veterans may hold the keys for now, but the future is what Cleveland is truly betting on. And if Gabriel is part of that future, he'll need to prove that the critics are wrong. Not just for the sake of his career, but to restore some confidence in the Browns' developmental pipeline. The worst case scenario isn't that Gabriel isn't ready, it's that he may never be. And in the NFL, perception can quickly become reality. Friday is more than a game. It's an audition, a rebuttal, and perhaps the start of redemption. It's time for Dillon Gabriel to either make a statement or be drowned out by the noise. As the Browns prepare to take the field, all eyes will be on the quarterback snaps, particularly when Gabriel steps under center. For fans, it's about hope. Hope that one of these young arms will finally bring stability to a franchise long plagued by inconsistency under center. For the coaching staff, it's about finding the right mix of talent and temperament. And for Gabriel, it's about survival. The NFL is unforgiving, and rookies who don't shine quickly often fade quietly. But Gabriel's story isn't finished yet. He still holds the pen. Whether he writes a comeback tale or becomes another footnote in Cleveland's long list of QB experiments depends on what he does next. But one thing is certain, when that ball is snapped and the pocket begins to collapse, no one else can take the hit for him. It's all on Dillon Gabriel now, and the world is watching. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. There's a buzz in the NFL world that just won't die down, and it's only getting louder by the hour. Whispers are swirling, social media's in meltdown, and insiders are tossing around what could be the most shocking comeback in football. History! Word on the street is that none other than Tom Brady, yes, the Tom Brady, might be dusting off the cleats and stepping back onto the gridiron. But here's the kicker. Not for the Patriots, not for the Bucks, and definitely not just for a retirement ceremony. The GOAT could be returning for one last dance. In Cleveland? That's right. The city known for heartbreak, snowstorms, and a franchise that's been chasing glory for decades. The Cleveland Browns. It sounds unreal, borderline cinematic, but when Tom Brady's name is involved, nothing is truly off the table. And if there's one thing Brady loves, it's proving people wrong. Sources close to several NFL front offices are reportedly murmuring about back-channel talks, secret phone calls, and meetings in undisclosed locations. The buzz first started when a private jet, often associated with Brady's business ventures, was spotted at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport late last week. Of course, that could be nothing, or it could be everything. Couple that with some cryptic Instagram activity, a sudden increase in Brady Brown's jersey mock-ups circulating online, and Browns executives giving unusually vague responses in press, conferences, and you've got the perfect storm. The speculation has reached a fever pitch. Fans are reading into every movement, every tweet, and every facial expression. And you have to admit, it's a compelling theory. After all, Cleveland is built for a comeback story. And if there's one man who can walk into chaos and command order, it's Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. Let's not forget the Browns aren't exactly hurting for a quarterback. At least not on paper, but with Deshaun Watson's future still murky, and a team clearly built to win now, it makes you wonder if they're looking for a short-term spark, a legend to rally behind, a leader whose presence alone can elevate a locker room. And Brady, he's the prototype. He's got the resume, the hunger, and most importantly, the chip on his shoulder. Because let's be real, he's always had something to prove. Whether it was being drafted 199th or leaving New England to win in Tampa Bay, Brady thrives when the odds look ridiculous. And right now, nothing would be more absurd or more Brady than donning that brown and orange helmet and trying to bring a Super Bowl to the Dawg Pound. Of course, we've seen this playbook before. Retired legends entertaining comebacks, only for it to fizzle out as nothing more than wishful thinking. But Brady's never been like the others. Even after announcing his second retirement, he's remained insanely active. Whether it's in the gym, promoting TB12, or making moves in broadcasting, Brady has stayed close to the game. Almost too close. Some even argue that the man never really left football, he just stepped into a different role for a while. And with his competitive fire well documented, you can't help but wonder if he's itching to get that final adrenaline rush. That one last ride, that last challenge that no one saw coming. And what better way to do it than in a place where legends aren't born, but made through sweat, grit, and suffering. Cleveland could be Brady's most heroic chapter yet. Let's talk about the Browns roster for a second. This isn't the same Cleveland team that's been the league's punchline for decades. This is a team with one of the best defenses in the NFL, anchored by Myles Garrett. They've got explosive talent on offense too. Nick Chubb, Amari Cooper, David Njoku, and a rising O-line. The only piece that feels uncertain, the quarterback. So you inject Brady into that mix and suddenly Cleveland isn't just competitive, they're terrifying. Imagine Brady under center in the AFC North, battling it out against Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and whoever's quarterback in the Steelers these days. The rivalries, the primetime matchups, the drama. It practically writes itself. For Brady, it wouldn't be just about proving he's still got it. It would be about rewriting the narrative of one of the NFL's most tortured franchises. Turning tragedy into triumph. And if anyone can do it, it's TB12. Now here's where things get even crazier. Insiders have hinted that Brady has a fascination with legacy. Duh. And legacy isn't just about rings, it's about myth. And what would be more mythical than taking the most cursed team in football and dragging them kicking and screaming to the promised land? Think about it. Brady in a Browns jersey, battling through a cold January night in Cleveland, delivering dimes, yelling on the sidelines, firing up a fan base that's starved for hope. It would be the football equivalent of Michael Jordan suiting up for the Charlotte Hornets. A comeback that makes no sense until it starts working, and then it makes all the sense in the world. Brady's always had a flair for the dramatic, and this would be his greatest drama yet. Forget Hollywood. This would be Shakespeare with shoulder pads. Now obviously nothing's confirmed. There's no official statement, no signed contract, no "I'm back" tweet yet. But let's not pretend Brady's comeback would happen with a press release. That's not how this guy operates. He moves in silence, drops subtle hints, lets the world talk itself into a frenzy before finally delivering the knockout punch. It's strategic, it's psychological warfare, and it's exactly what's happening right now. Every moment he stays silent, the rumor mill spins faster. Every training camp rep missed by Watson adds fuel to the fire. Every day closer to the regular season increases the odds that Cleveland might need Brady more than they're letting on. And if Tom's watching all this from his beach house, you can bet he's calculating the exact moment to make his move. Because when Brady does something, it's never random. It's orchestrated. And let's not forget the media side of this. Brady owns part of the Raiders now, right? So why would he risk that just to play a season for the Browns? Well, that's the kind of question you ask when you underestimate Tom Brady's obsession with competition. Yes, the ownership stake complicates things, but this is the NFL. We've seen players play, retire, own, come back, and shift roles a dozen times. Legalities can be sorted, contracts can be adjusted, and let's be honest, the league would move mountains for a Brady return. Ratings would skyrocket. Jerseys would sell out in minutes. Every Browns game would be must-see TV. The league wants this. The fans need this. And Brady, he just might crave the spotlight one more time. Not as a legend revisiting his past, but as a warrior taking on a new battlefield, one no one ever saw coming. Now picture this at week 1. Cleveland Browns versus Dallas. Cowboys, national primetime, the stadium packed, the Dawg Pound howling, and out of the tunnel walks Tom Brady, calm, focused, and wearing that familiar number 12, only this time it's brown and orange. The crowd erupts, social media collapses, and the sports world turns upside down. It would be the most electric start to a season in recent memory, and maybe that's what Brady's waiting for, that perfect storybook setup. Because for all the talk about legacy and records, Tom Brady is at heart a showman. He lives for the moment, and no moment would be bigger than walking into one of football's most cursed franchises and saying, I got this. It's risky, it's insane, it's utterly unbelievable, but sometimes the most unbelievable stories are the ones we remember forever. So whether this rumor becomes reality or fades into NFL folklore, one thing's clear. Tom Brady still owns the league's imagination. Whether he's behind a microphone or under center, he commands attention like nobody else. And as long as there's even a sliver of a chance that he could walk back onto the field, fans will cling to that hope. Because we've seen him do the impossible before. And deep down, we want to believe he'll do it again. Cleveland might be the unlikeliest of destinations. But isn't that exactly what makes it so compelling? In a league built on unpredictability, this would be the ultimate twist. So keep your eyes peeled, because if the GOAT really is on the move again, the NFL is about to witness a comeback story for the ages. Stay tuned, stay ready, because Tom Brady might not be done just yet. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!